Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about the AI Foundry's model leaderboards. What AI Foundry's model leaderboards offers us is a capability to decide wisely which model works for your requirement. So let's dive deeper into it. There are quite a places which you can get a lot more information about benchmarks, etc. from this model catalog. So I'll go to this AI Foundry, that is ai.azure.com, create a project, and then come to that inside the project. Imagine that this is the first time you are coming here, you haven't created or deployed any model into this. You can still go to this model catalog. And once you go inside this model catalog, you get this landing page where essentially it talks about the announcement around the model which is happening, so you can catch up with what is going on, what is latest, which what kind of and then their related blog post. For example, if you'd like to know about the GPT-5 Pro, there is a blog announcement which has happened against it, which will have a bit more additional information which you want to know a little more about, and then how you can use it, what are the capabilities, and then a few more matrices, which essentially will help you understand what is better here and all the goodness around this model. If you come to this model leaderboards, this section, I'll go to the browse leaderboards. But if you see here that the quality wise, we have that model comparisons. If you open this grok, it says that you have a 0.91 quality index, 57.83% of the safety success rate, and the tentative cost will be around $6 per 1 million token. So it is based on the token usage because it's a pay as you go model. So you kind of, depending on what kind of model you are going to use, you can get the tentative cost. This helps you come up with the cost. But other than that, you have got categories around cost. So you see here there are cost comparisons. So let's say 5.4 mini instruct, which is kind of like 0.13 USD per 1 million token, which is quite a less little amount as compared to the LLM. So it's a good option for you to quickly do things, and then you can see that there's a throughput, right? So you, if you want to see that GPT-5 Nano, it also gives you a better throughput with a cheaper cost. So it's kind of like depending on what really works for you. So if you click on the browse leaderboards section, what essentially you see here is that is various different models available in the list. The top one, which is selected right now, is Grok 4. Grok 4 gives you a couple of highlights about this model. So its quality comparison with other similar contemporary models available today. And then it has a safety, cost, and throughput. So four things: quality, safety, cost, and throughput are the criteria which you might want to compare with. And you also have at the below trade-off chart. So if you are not happy with this comparison, you can select between the models you want to work with. So you can see that there are models selected shows 9, but there are much more model, like all the models which are listed here. You can select here, and the graph will give you the comparison between the models. So for example, if I want to check this um, grok 4, I will just remove a couple of them because I don't want so many of them to be visible here. So GPT-5 and grok 4. Let's say I pick all these two, I remove other models here. I have got Cohere 5, Mistral. I'll just remove, and then I just have only two models. So which essentially helps me see that the GPT-5 is somewhere here, right? The cost is 3.6, quality is 90, whereas the Grok has a cost of 6 and the quality is zero point 0.9. So it's kind of like this is the quality, the y-axis is the quality, and the x-axis is the cost. You can compare them. Now you can change the comparison if you want to change the comparison between like quality versus cost. You can change it to, let's say, safety. I want to prioritize that because this is what importance versus latency. So I want to compare that. You can change the comparison matrix, how you want to compare them, latency versus safety. So latency becomes the y-axis, and then safety becomes x-axis. So it's kind of like that way you see that it is sitting here somewhere, the O3, and then so I just want to remove this O3, 5, this, right, and then I can compare the model. I select the model to compare. So you can pick up your model. So let's say I'm more keen into GPT-5 because this is something I want to explore more, but at the same time, I want to see what I'm going to miss if I use GPT-4.1, right? So then I just say that, and then I go to the GPT-5, also bring in into this. I'm not able to because it's locked. I mean, not be, I'll not be able to. So I'll see, just select this chat one. So if you see here, like I can compare different model. I can compare all these things. Let me go back into this thing and then go a little down over here. And also a couple of leaderboard scenario. It also comes up with for you to deep dive. Right now, you remember that we are into the Grok 4, right? If you select the GPT-5 Pro, let's say, which is the latest one, you will have a couple of information available over here. If you go to Grok 4, let's say, and then you go down and say that you have got the standard harmful behavior as comparison, right? And then you have the contextually harmful behavior. Do have some copyright violation also. So if you are generating text, it should not copy from the copyrighted material. So it's a important and serious matter. Knowledge in the sensitive domain, right? And then toxicity detection, reasoning, coding, general knowledge, right? Uh, question answer, math, groundedness, informational retrieval. It's mainly for embedding, right? Thing. So those who are specialized matrices for embedding models will have this call out because embedding model is a little different from the generative AI model. So those models, they don't generate, they just convert the text or input into vector arrays, right? So and then summarization is also the embedding model which comes here. So the embedding models are specialized models. So you get to see this information pretty extensively, right? And also, if you, let's say, if you go to this Grok and then try in Playground, you get to play with this Grok model without really deploying it. And then if you go to this model and endpoint, and let me select a base model for for us to deploy. Let's say I want to select the GPT-5 chat completion, um, chat completion, and then I will select this, and I get to see a little bit more information about here, right? What is the version, etc. However, in the model catalog, if I go back to GPT-5 chat completion, this model, you have a couple of inside each of these models once you select. you have a couple of other things, right? Apart from the documentation and what it contains, you have got the benchmark option, which essentially talks about various different benchmark results which are published, right? So you have got latency, throughput, and all these things, right? Estimated cost. And then you go a little down, it also talks about the AI quality as compared to other models. You have got, you can compare them with these things. You can come change the comparison with other models also if you wish to. If you want to compare them with between GPT-4 and GPT-5, you can do that also by bringing them into it. So nothing kind of like hard coded here. It's up to you. If you're comparing 3 4 models, feel free to bring them in and then compare them, and it gives you based on the benchmark, public benchmark record, right? So these are all published, by the way, so you will be able to find. But in the AI Foundry, you're going to get all of them here. So a lot of time question comes in, can you share the benchmark result? You don't need anybody to know about that. You can just come here and get the benchmark result for your model. Can you, question comes, can you compare between 3 models? You can do that by yourself by coming in. That's why I'm showing you this part, because this is something I feel still unexplored. People don't know much about it, but it kind of clarifies a lot of things, and the questions when you are in the phase of making a decision, a choice between 2 different models, you will be able to use that and then get the required information. It's a quite flexible way of doing it, right? So you get a lot of these things. And existing, if you have any existing deployment, and the license. So if you want to know more about the license, right, because it is Microsoft Publisher, you will find the license from Microsoft. However, if you go into, let's say, the model catalog and choose something which is not a Microsoft published model, let's say DeepSeek, but it's being sold by Azure, right? So if you go into the license, you will find the license for DeepSeek here in the GitHub. So it opens that page, the GitHub license page for the DeepSeek model, and it goes here. So each of the model, based on the publisher, you will have a different license options available. So you probably would like to know what are the conditions, criteria. A lot of time, these legal discussion requires these inputs. So it is important that you know where you can find the respective information just a click away, right? And then you can see that original model extraction. So if you want to say that, from where did you get this data? This data came from a published report in their GitHub repository, the DeepSeek AI I'm talking about. And you can see that there are various different things they have compared with. They kind of have detailed out with all the data. So you can pretty much go and play around with this and explore more about the model you want to. So before taking any decision, before deploying any model, you pretty much come over here using this model catalog. In this list, we probably have got around 120 plus models, right? Yeah, it is right now. The number is 120 plus models published here for you, and then you can see that inference is available also, license is available also, fine tuning task is available, capabilities, right? So which capability? So you can, based on the thing you want to do that. So for example, I want to see what are the meta models available in this list. There are 10. So you can see that only 10 meta models are available, which are being tested and published within that. What are the Microsoft models available? There are 24 models available. So you can even filter by the publisher. So if you want to stick to one vendor where you are selecting the model, you can always do that by coming over here and selecting the vendor or the publisher of that model, and you find that all the models which you can deploy within the Azure from Azure AI Foundry are listed here and filterable, right? So with this, I want to pause here because this is a very, very, very important side of model selection. Just like that, you don't select a model, you take a conscious call. And when you take a conscious call, you need a lot of data to support because you are yet to build that application. So you probably come over here, get the clarity, note down those data points, and then justify the decision you have made. So this is the place to do that. Thank you very much and hope you have enjoyed and have a wonderful day.